再来复习诗篇146篇。
Let's turn to Psalm 146.
诗篇146篇第3节。
Psalm 146, verse 3.
你们不要依靠君王，不要依靠世人，他一点不能帮助。他的气一断，就要归回尘土。他所打算的，当日就消灭了。这个第3节跟第4节道理很简单的，我们都容易明白。
Verse 3 and 4 point to very simple truth that we can all understand.
因为在以利米书那里也是记载说，假如是依靠血气的人那结果就像沙漠中的贫穷人。
Jeremiah also records similar passage in that those who trust in man will become like the destitute in the desert.
沙漠是一无所有的地方
Desert is a place that is barren.
又是穷人在那里。
And imagine a poor person in the middle of the desert.
所以整句就是告诉我们依靠世人的话是绝望，就是死路一条。
This is to tell us those who rely upon human strength will be desperate and its end is dead.
虽然眼前可能是有一些帮助
And even though some problem may be relieved temporarily.
但是终究是没有什么结果的。
But ultimately, there is no real help.
但是第5节
Verse 5.
以雅各的神为帮助，仰望神，仰望主他神的人这人变为有福气。
Happy is he who has the God of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in the Lord his God.
早上我们用很多时间来谈雅各的神。
This morning we spent much time talking about the God of Jacob.
雅各是一个很特别的人物，他会抓住神的应许，抓住神的祝福。
Jacob was a unique person in that he grasps for the blessing and the promise of God.
那是表示他对神有一定程度的了解。
Showing that he had certain degree of understanding toward God.
他认识神到底是谁
He understood who God was exactly.
所以第6节就为我们介绍说，这位神是怎样的神，为什么要依靠他。
Verse 6 and on describes what type of God he truly is, why we need to trust in him.
说第一个第6节
Verse 6.
说主创造天地海和其中万物。
Who made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them.
说他是创造天地宇宙万物的主宰。
God is the Lord and Master who made heaven and earth and everything in it.
我们曾经读过上行诗
We had read before the songs of ascent.
那这次要返乡去朝圣的这些以色列人他们就说因为路途很遥远。
The pilgrims who were returning to Jerusalem to visit Jerusalem had to traverse long journeys.
要经过很多的旷野。
They had to go trek across many deserts.
进入一个城市。
To enter into a city.
还要出城市，要进到另外一个旷野。
And after going through the city, to enter another desert.
要走了好久好几个月的路程才能够到达耶路撒冷。
Only after many months of journey in the wilderness did they reach Jerusalem.
我说他们一直边走边看是不是已经看到喜宴山了？
And as they journey, they kept their eyes on a lookout for when they see the Mount of Zion.
因为一路上也是很危险
Because there's danger fraught throughout the whole journey.
有野兽的攻击。
There's the attack of the wild beasts.
有盗贼的攻击。
And the attack of the robbers.
有天气气候有不定的因素。
And also the unpredictable weathers.
所以要走到终点真的是不容易的。
It was very difficult for them to arrive at their destination.
因此他们边仰望那个喜宴山一路上的城就边想说：哎呀，我的帮助从什么地方而来呀
？As they look for the Mount Zion, they wonder, where does my help come from?
真的，这一趟路程，假设没有靠神的帮助是不可能达成的。
Without the help of God, they cannot complete their journey.
所以他们想一想，
as they thought.
说：哎呀，我的帮助就是从创造天地的主宰而来的。
They understood that their help comes from the Lord and Creator of the universe.
所以他们的心有这样的信念以后，
After they come to this understanding,
他们就很坚定的往前一直前进了。
And with this conviction, they were able to propel forward.
地是很硬的，
Though the ground was very hard,
神的应许也是很坚定的。
and yet the promises of God is very sure and solid.
所以我们在碰到困难的时候，也是要有这种坚定的信念。
And when we encounter tribulations, we too also must have this type of conviction.
所以为什么要提到雅各的名字？
Why do we mention the name Jacob?
为什么提到雅各的神？
Why do we mention the God of
因为
Jacob?
雅各在困难当中也是一样，一直仰望神的应许呀。
Because amidst troubles and tribulations, Jacob was able to rely wholly on his God.
假如他没有仰望神的应许，
If he did not rely upon the promise of his God,
他就不要今天的成就。
then he would not be who he is today.
所以我们要仰望神的帮助，
And thus we must look toward the help of God.
因为他是从无创造有的神。
For he is the God who made everything from nothing.
那最近我们南加州有很多的野火啊，
Recently, Southern California has suffered from many wildfires.
那很多次啊，我们的信徒的家也很危急。
And there were times that even our members' homes were close to disaster.
哇，风一直吹向他们这里一样，
As the wind turned, blown toward
那
their
火也好
houses,
像就是快要烧到了
as if the fire is about to devour them.
啊！有位信徒啊，他拍摄影像给我看，他说他们后院已经有直升机啊在喷火了，用直升机在喷水啊洒水灭火。
There's a member who took a video clip of the helicopter dousing out the fire in his backyard,
啊，直升机已经看得很清楚了，
and he could visibly see the
所
helicopter.
以可见那个火已经快要烧到他们这里了。
We can see that the fire was encroaching upon him very
哇，大
quickly.
家很紧张啊！
Everyone was very
啊，
tense.
他们赶快请教会的弟兄姐妹帮助他们祷告。
They quickly call for all the members in church to pray for them.
哇，大家也知道这个消息了，
When the news reached their ears,
各种聚会的场合就赶快为他们祷告。
and members all throughout pray for them.
啊，感谢主啊！祷告以后
Thank God after the prayer,
啊，不久的时间，这个风就转向了，
and quickly the wind turned direction.
很奇妙。
This is quite
啊，
miraculous.
结果火就没有烧到他们的房子。
As a result, the fire did not damage their home.
所以神为我们创造一个新天新地。
God has created a new heaven and new earth for us.
所以一样的，我们在困难当中神也会为我们创造工作。
Likewise, in the midst of our troubles, when we are out of job, God will find a career for us.
啊，创造公司的业绩。
And He will help us establish performances in our job,
为我们创造机会，
to create opportunities for
为我
us,
们创造我们身体好的细胞，
to create good cells, to replenish the ill ones,
啊，为我们创造一位好的配偶，
to help us find the right match and spouse.
为我们创造。大家回去造句啊，
And so when you go home, you can use
看
God
底下在
created
创造
such.
什么，你自己造句啊。
You can make your own sentence.
创造房子，创造脚踏车，创造什么都可以，
God created this or made this for me.
因为他既然能够创造天地，
Because since God is capable of creating heaven and earth,
我们所需要日用的，他也会为我们创造。
whatever we are in a sore lack of, God can also create.
所以我们的帮助就从这位创造天地的主宰而来。
And hence our help comes from the God who created heaven and earth.
我们一定要有这个信念。
We must have this type of conviction.
那第6节的第2段说，他所诚实直到永远。
Verse 6, second half, who keeps truth forever?
说诚实也是神的本性。
Truth is also an essence of God.
那其实诚实也是美国以前的核心价值啊。
Truth or honesty is also a core essence of American value.
以前大家都互相信任，大家都认为你诚实，我也诚实，所以就互相信任。
In the past, everyone relied upon the honesty to trust one another.
所以以前办事情很容易的，
And in the past, it was easy to conduct business
人家都信任。
because people trusted one another.
在911事件以前呢，
Before 9/11 occurred,
那时候我还没当传道，在以前几年的我还没当传道。
a few years prior to that event, I was not yet a preacher.
费城教会要派代表参加 NCC 的开会，
Church in Philadelphia was going to send a delegate to attend the
然后选
NCC.
一位弟兄去参加，
They selected a brother to attend.
那他的机票都买好了，
He had already bought his tickets.
突然之间他说他不能去了，
All of a sudden, he said he could not attend.
他说拿他的机票给我去，他说你去的，
And so he gave me his tickets and
所以
told me to go.
我就拿他的机票去登机，
And so I boarded the plane with his tickets
因为大家都信任你是好人呢，
because everyone trusted that you are a nice person,
那时候也不查证件，
and they did not even bother to check who I was.
只要有机票就可以搭飞机
As long as you have their boarding ticket, then you can just board.
所以我就搭飞机
And hence I took the airplane. Right?
现在不一样啊，
But nowadays it's different.
现在只要一个字拼错的话，那糟糕了
Now if you just have one misspelled name, then
他会问你老半天，
and they will question you for a long
真
time.
的是你吗？
Are you truly who you say you are?
我要查了很多。
And they will go through very rigorous verifications.
以前的核心价值就是诚实，
In the past, the core value was being honest,
说了就算数的。
and they would their words meant something.
因为这个诚实就是神的本性之一
Because being truthful is God's essence.
所以神是诚实的神。
God is a truthful God.
那诚实的意思就是说选择他自己要选择说不说谎
Being truthful also means that we choose not to lie.
要选择，我这里特别强调选择，他选择不偷窃，
We choose not to steal.
选择不作弊
Choose not to cheat.
选择不以任何的方式来欺骗对方
Choose not to deceive other people.
这是一个选择。
This is a self-selection.
但是神选择他宁愿这持守住他的诚实
And God chooses to uphold His truth forever.
当然人可能选择说我不诚实我假如诚实的话对我没有什么好处
People may choose not to uphold truth because it doesn't bring any benefit to them.
说我们要诚实
But we must be truthful.
当然诚实有些时候会付出代价
Of course, we may pay a price for being truthful.
我刚来南加州的时候
When I first came to Southern California,
我的车子自己的车子从芝加哥开来南加州
I drove my car from Chicago to Southern California.
但是因为很忙所以不是到了北加州
I went
那他
to,
还在北加州
went to Northern California.
因为很忙
But because I was so busy,
7、8月份都是学生联谊会
July, August is when we have a student spiritual convocation.
所以也没有时间去办理说车子已经到了加州本来是伊利诺州现在到了加州应该是要去办理登记
I had no time to change the license plate registration from Illinois to California.
假如在5天以内车子到达加州以后的5天以内去办理登记的话就不需要罚款
According to regulations, that if you reach a new state and register within 5 days, you don't have to pay a penalty.
然后到过了大概1-2个月我忘记正确时间了
A couple of months later,
我才去登记
that was when I had time to register.
那登记的有一栏说您的车子什么时候运到加州
There was a field that says, when did your car arrive California?
我想说假如说昨天刚到他也不会去查
And I thought to myself, if I just put down yesterday's date, there's no way for them to reconfirm.
那说昨天刚到的话也很合理因为刚到我就马上来办
If I just stated yesterday, then that seemed to make sense, and I'm
这样
here
子的就
today.
不需要接受什么罚款的
If I did so, I wouldn't have to pay any penalty.
可是我想想不行
As I thought about this, I shouldn't do that.
要老实
I need to be truthful.
我这不老实的以后我就老实的道理诚实的道理我就很难讲
If I was
讲不出来
if I was untruthful, then it would be very difficult for me to preach about this sermon in the future.
那后来我就说哎呀大概是1个多月以前就到了
So I wrote down about a month before I arrived,
结果被罚了200块
and I was penalized $200.
但是我心安理得
However, I had a clear conscience.
所以现在在讲诚实的时候我才可以讲
So it's now when I speak on the topic of truthful, I can talk about it freely.
不然我就没有按照我自己所传的去做
Otherwise, I did not practice what I preach,
我就讲得很虚心
and it would give me a guilty conscience
因
talking
为我都
about
没有
it
诚实
because I was untruthful.
怎么能够传诚实的道理呢
How can I possibly preach on this topic?
所以感谢主有些时候要诚实要付出代价
I thank God that when you want to be truthful, you have to pay a price.
其实这个是我们的先人他们的核心价值
And this was a core value of the American society.
以前的人没有什么签名
In the previously, there was no contract.
那说了就算数的
People just took your word for it.
说神也是一样，神他不改变啊，
God is the same. He never changes.
直到永远。
And His truth lasts forever.
说神所告诉我们的，他要赐给我们平安的意念，那就是赐平安的意念。
The Lord tells us that He intends to give us peace, and that's what we will receive.
啊，神告诉我们一就是一，二就是二，
Whatever He says, 1 or 2 will remain as 1 or 2.
不会让我们很混淆的，
He will not throw us into confusion,
因为他诚实啊，永不改变。
for His truth and honesty will never change.
那圣经怎么来形容这位神呢？这位神他说，这个好像婴儿哈，这个永远都不改变的，也不会动的。
God is like a rock that never changes.
当然，影子啊会随着太阳的移动啊而移动啊。
But shadows, we know that it shifts with the movement of the sun.
啊，但是这位神他这不动，实际上这影子他是永远不动的，
But God is like a never moving shadow that will never
所
change.
以他是值得我们信赖的一位神。
And thus, He is a dependable and truthful God.
那再看第7节，
Verse 7,
146篇第7节，
Psalm 146, verse 7.
他为受屈的伸冤啊，赐食物与饥饿的，然后神释放被囚的。
Who executes justice for the oppressed, who gives food to the hungry, the Lord gives freedom to the prisoners.
那冤呢，就是无罪哈，被人认为是有罪的。
Those who are suffering from injustice are the people who are innocent but considered to be wrong.
也就是无辜的受到指责还是处罚。
They are the innocent who suffer from injustice and being punished.
那当然，我们就是受到无辜的指责还是处分的时候，我们一定会喊冤啊，说的不是真的啊，这是不公平啊。
When we are innocent and wrongly punished, we will cry out for justice.
我们会申冤，我们会自己去申冤的。
We will cry out for fairness and justice be done.
但是我们人不能够申冤。
But as humans, we are not supposed to cry out for justice.
当然我们可以申冤呢，我们可以申冤的啊。要去哪里申冤呢？
We can seek for justice. Where do we go to?
我们要去政府机关申冤呢。
We can go to government agencies
有法院的制度啊。
because there's legal courts that can assert justice.
所以我们只要是有什么觉得不公平待遇的时候，
And when we suffer from any sort of perceived injustice,
还是你的财产呢受到侵占的时候，
for instance, if someone were to possess our property
那可以
unlawfully,
透过法律的程序来申冤呢。
then we can seek out legal avenues in order to right this wrong.
那万一这个程序也不能够解决的时候，
But when this procedure cannot come to a satisfactory answer,
那圣经告诉我们叫不要私自申冤，不要私自报复。
but the Bible tells us when that happens, we are not to avenge for ourselves.
那这个时候我们就交托给神
It's at times like that we entrust into God,
因为他是申冤的神。
for He is a God who avenges.
那有的时候在弟兄姐妹之间呢，有误会还是有大家不愉快的时候，
Amongst church members, if there is any kind of misunderstanding or arguments, disputes,
其实也是不需要去申冤的，
we do not need to seek for justice.
因为这种也不是说很恶劣，犯到法律、犯到国家的法律。
Because it's nothing so serious that we need to have the court system
只是
involved.
大家误会，大家坚持自己的看法。
It could be a misunderstanding or just people holding to their own opinions.
甲方说甲方有理，乙方说乙方有理，
He says, she says.
那到底是要听谁的？
So who exactly do you listen to?
然后这个时候就是请神呢，来到神这里，请他申冤呢。
In circumstances like this, we ask God to execute His justice.
因为有些时候故事会越描越黑的。
Some stories become darker as the rumor spreads.
很难有一个很清楚的判断。
It's hard to come to a clear judgment.
但是神是看着内心的，
But God is one who sees into our heart.
所以我们就以雅各的神为帮助。
Thus, we must rely upon the help of God of Jacob,
因为他会为受屈的伸冤，
because He will He will bring justice to the oppressed.
那假设我们觉得自己有冤屈，
If we feel that we have been oppressed
那我们把
unfairly,
这个案件就呈到神的面前，
then we should bring our case before God,
就好像是已经呈到法院的手里了。
as though we are bringing a legal document before the court.
那我们就应该保持安静的，
And we need to remain quiet,
因为神会伸冤呢。
for God will extend justice to.
那这个时候我们就是说话都叫不合宜呀、
If we were to lie in cases like this, then that's inappropriate.
所以已经进入到司法程序，一般来说这个就不必这个说话就变成不合宜的，也是法律所不允许的。
When we're in a legal proceeding, we cannot lie. It's unlawful and unacceptable.
就安静等待法院的判决。
Rather, we have to wait for the court to bring justice.
所以一样的，我们就是把这个冤呈到神的面前，我们就要听神的吩咐啊。
Likewise, we bring our case before God for Him to weigh the matter and to execute justice.
我们就保持肃静，
And we remain quiet.
等待神的答案。
We await God's answer.
我们要信任神。
We need to trust in God.
那么再来是赐食物与饥饿的人。
God gives food to the hungry.
那当然，我们大家都有东西可以吃啊。
We all have food to eat.
尤其中午大家也吃得很好
In the lunchtime, we enjoy good food.
又有咖啡可以喝。
We have coffee to drink.
所以现在的人其实是不用烦恼说没有东西吃。
People nowadays don't really worry about not having food to eat.
当然有些时候我们真的有些人是在那种很贫穷的状况之下。
Some people are suffering from physical hunger.
这一餐吃完了，下一餐不知道哪里去找食物，也不知道。
They may have a meal now, but they don't know where the next meal will come from.
有这种人呢。
There are people who live life like that.
当然我们知道这个区域，我们现在的情况，大家都过得很好的生活。
But we live in this very abundant society, and we don't suffer from that.
也是感谢主啊。
We thank God.
但是我们心中的信念就是知道神他会赏赐给我们每天的饮食啊。
But we have this basic assurance that God will bless us with food every day.
我们请看马太福音，
Matthew
马太福音第6章，
6.
马太福音第6章的12节11节，
Matthew 6, verse 11 and 12.
11节就。
11.
马太福音6章11节，
Matthew 6, verse 11.
我们日用的饮食，今日赐给我们。
Give us this day our daily bread.
所以圣经告诉我们，先求神的国，神的义那我们日用的饮食才会赐给我们的。
The Bible tells us that to seek first God's kingdom and His righteousness, and everything else will be given to us.
所以这一句话是有2个含义。
This statement here has two implications.
那第一个含义呢，它真的会赏赐给我们日用的饮食。
First implication is that God truly will give us our daily bread.
因为日用的饮食是很基本的，维持生命是基本的要素啊。
Because keeping us alive is a very basic necessity.
那这些基本的饮食神会赏赐。
And thus God will satisfy our daily sustenance.
那怎么赏赐，我也不知道啊。
How does God bless us? We don't know.
神一定会利用各种方法，透过各种管道来把食物送到我们的面前呢。
But God will use various means to bring food before us.
这个最基本的需要，我们就不用去烦恼。
We don't have to worry about our basic needs.
那第2个含义
Second implication
就是指着未来神的国，还有神的宴席。
refers to the future God's kingdom and His banquet.
那今日也是可以指的是未来的某一个时间呢。
Because this day could also refer to the future certain day.
所以按照我们中文字所看到的是今日，就今天，这今天的事情啊。
So what we see here, this day could refer to present.
当然，这个有另外这个含义，就是未来，指着未来这个 one day， 就有一天，但是什么时候不知道，这是 one day。
But it could also imply one day,
也就是就有一天。
one day in the future.
那这一天呢，就是以后神的国实现。
This one day is when God's kingdom will be
那
realized.
我们就能够在神的国里享受他的宴席。
Then we will be able to enjoy God's in God's kingdom and His banquet,
那与他一同吃饭，像今天大家一起吃饭一样很快乐。
to dine together with God with great joy like we do in lunchtime.
那再请翻回来诗篇146篇。
Let's turn back to Psalm 146.
146篇第7节，
Psalm 146, verse 7.
说神的释放被囚的。
The Lord gives freedom to the prisoners.
当然大家有没有被囚的经验？
Have we ever been incarcerated before?
但是每一个人可能这一辈子当中都有一些坏习惯。
Maybe we haven't been a prisoner before, but we all suffer from bad habits.
比如说有的人吃饭很快，
Some people eat very fast.
吃饭快其实这个习惯的不好啊。
Actually, this is not a good habit.
吃那么快干什么？
Why do you need to rush when you
又
eat?
不赶时间
Because you're not rushed for time.
可是他没办法，就是已经习惯了。
But since that person's already used to it,
3口做1口吃啊。
and they would eat 3 bites together as one.
你说不要吃那么快慢慢吃啊。
And you tell them eat slower,
但是没办法，
but he cannot help
这
himself,
个是一种习惯。
for he's already accustomed.
所以我们人生当中可能有一段时间有一些不好的习惯。
All of us suffer from some vices throughout our human life.
今天的习惯是什么？
What is today's habit?
就看手机滑手机
Today's bad habit is spend too much time on
走到哪里都滑手机，就是上厕所也滑手机。
spend too much time on the cell phone. Or we just keep sliding
跟女
around.
朋友去吃饭，跟男朋友去吃饭，好不容易约个时间，也在滑手机，也不说话的。
And no matter where you go, in the restaurant, even in the bathroom, you're just looking on your smartphone as opposed to talking to each other.
这个呢，也是个不好的习惯
This is also a very bad vice.
看手机是他生命的一部分
Because looking at the smartphone becomes an essential part of his life.
但是有的人不是这样子，有的人是以圣经为他生命的一部分
But some people are not like that. They rather devote a good chunk of time on reading the Bible.
有位工人在开会的时候，他忘记把圣经带回去
There was a sacred worker who forgot to bring his Bible home.
然后他就打电话告诉我
And he
说
called me.
叶传道我忘记把我的圣经带回家带回来
He said, Preacher, yeah, I forgot to bring my Bible home.
我说你的圣经放在哪里
I asked him, where did you misplace it?
他放在厕所里头。
I put it in the bathroom.
那他圣经怎么会放在那里呢？
And why would you leave your Bible
这
in
表
the
示说他
bathroom?
上厕所的时候也是带圣经去看的。
That could imply that when he was in the bathroom, he was also reading the Bible.
这个工人是很标准的。
He was a very role model member.
那相反的，假如是我们上厕所也带着手机，那这个就要变成不标准了。
And conversely, if you go to a bathroom with your smartphone, then that's not a very good example.
有些时候要让我们眼睛得到休息
We also need to allow our eyes to get a
所以
rest.
其实我们一生当中真的是每一个人都有可能一些不好的习惯。
In our life, all of us suffer from some type of vice.
当然有些不好的习惯跟我们的灵命好像是没有什么关系。
These bad habits may not seem to be related to our spiritual life,
但是有些时候也会有关系。
but actually they are directly related.
比如说我们在查经团契的时候，
For instance, when we are Bible studying,
大家都不大敢说话。
everyone are too shy to speak.
那为什么怕讲话？
Why are they afraid to speak out?
就是因为讲错话不会得到赦免。
If they were to misspeak, they will not be forgiven.
讲错话的话，大家会批评批评个不停。
If they misspoke, then other people will criticize them.
所以就是怕讲话。
They are afraid to speak out.
那假设他确认我就讲，但是呢，假设我不小心说错话，大家会原谅我的。
But if instead they have this mentality that I'm just going to speak, and if I misspoke, other people will forgive me.
但没有人会批评。
No one else will criticize me.
只是善意的建议而已的。
It's just some
不
sound
会有
advice.
恶意的批评。
There would not be vicious criticisms.
所以在这种的心理、这种想法之下，当然一个人就比较敢说话。
And with this kind of mindset, then a person will be more likely to speak.
所以有的时候我们好像被自己这样被关在自己的心里头，被关起来。
At times we become prisoner of our own mind,
我们叫做说比较白话，叫放不开呀。
and we cannot let go of ourselves.
但是呢，现在神我们依靠神，神要把我们释放了。
But now, by relying upon God, He will set us free.
我们看撒该他本来是看钱是非常重的一个人啊，
Zacchaeus used to be one who valued money highly.
所以圣经称他是很有钱的税吏长啊。
And the Bible described him to be a wealthy tax collector.
他看钱是非常重的，
And he really emphasized the money.
所以他本来是被钱这样绑起来、关起来。
Previously, he was a prisoner of his thirst for money.
他要做什么事情都是想到钱。
Everything that he did, he thought of money first.
他的口中一出口都是钱啊。
And when he opened up his mouth, it's all about money.
但是他认识主耶稣以后，
But after he came to know Christ,
主耶稣就释放他自由，
Christ set him free.
结果他这个心就变得很宽了。
His heart became very open.
他钱可以让他出去，
He can let go of his money.
他钱可以把它拿出去救济那些贫穷的人呢。
He is now willing to relinquish his money to help the poor.
他以前得罪谁的，有欺诈谁的，他可以还给他们，
And if he had offended someone or cheated someone before, now he can pay them back
因为他看开了。
because he dawned on him the truth.
他现在是改变成为本来是看钱很重的，现在改变成为看基督耶稣很重。
Previously, he emphasized money, but now he emphasized Christ.
钱就算不了什么，
And by comparison, money doesn't mean much to him.
所以他就可以let it go啊。
So now he can let go of it.
我这个心，这个好像是仓库那些仓库的门打开了，这钱一直跑出去，他也无所谓。
And his heart opened up like the barn doors, and he doesn't mind that his money is free escaping.
这个就是已经被主耶稣释放了。
For he has already been set free by Lord Jesus.
所以我们的生活当中有哪些事情我们放不开的？
In our life, is there something that's been binding us down that we can't let go?
那放不开其实是被一个无形的裤子所关起来呀。
If we cannot let go, it shows that we are a prisoner of that very thing.
当然这些东西我不知道，大家自己知道。
I may not know what is keeping you a prisoner,
可能每一个人自己心中都有一些。
but we know ourselves that there are certain things that's keeping us as
那没关系，
prisoners.
我们现在依靠神啊，
But that's okay. We can rely upon
以雅
God.
各的神为帮助，
We rely on the help of
因为他
Jacob's
释
God.
放我们真的自由，
For he will set us free and give us true liberty,
我们就放得开。
and we can let go.
放得开的话，人生才会走得很轻松啊。
Only when we let go can we walk on a very light path.
有的人呢丢了20块钱就睡不着觉，
Some people lose their sleep over losing a $20 bill.
才20块钱呢。
It's only $20,
但是有的人就损失100万，
but some people lose $1 million,
他也可以看得开啊，
but he can still let it go.
因为他明白钱可以进进出出啊，
For he understood that money comes and goes.
流来流去的，
It comes and goes.
所以看得开。
So
这个是神能够释放。
he's able to let go, and this is the mentality that trusting God can set us
所以我
free.
们依靠这位雅各的神来帮助。
We can rely upon the God of Jacob to help us.
那底下第8节
Verse 8.
第8节，神呢开了瞎子的眼睛扶起被压下的人
The Lord opens the eyes of the blind and raises those who are bowed down.
第9节，神呢保护寄居的，扶持孤儿和寡妇。
Verse 9. The Lord watches over the strangers, relieves the fatherless and widow.
第10节，
Verse 10.
神要做王
The Lord shall reign forever. As
神
king.
在那里做王在我们心中做王
Where does the Lord reign as king in our hearts?
所以我们第8节详细就不再谈了。
We will not discuss verse 8 in detail.
所以我们今天所讲的就是以雅各的神为帮助
Today our focus is on relying upon the God
不要以人为帮助。
rely on the help of
那
God
为什么
of
雅各的
Jacob
神是
rather
值
than
得
human.
信赖的
Why is it that God of Jacob deserves our trust?
因为他创造天地，
For he created heaven and
因为
earth,
他所诚实，
because he is truthful.
他为受冤的受屈的伸冤，
He will execute justice for the oppressed,
赐粮食给饥饿的人，
gives food to the hungry,
释放被囚的，让他们能够得到自由。
give freedom to the prisoners.
所以我们但愿大家都能够以雅各的神为帮助。
So may all of us consider the God of Jacob to be our help.
他唱诗
Let's sing him.
378首。
378.
请坐。
Please be seated.
我们再来祷告啊，求神带领大家每一天的生活。
And we're going to have our concluding prayer. We ask the Lord to guide us in our everyday life,
让我们以雅各的神为依靠，
that we can rely upon the God of Jacob for our
能够
help,
来享受他的祝福。
to receive His and enjoy His blessings.
我们为着下个星期在伯恩教会举行的学生联谊会，
Let's pray for the student spiritual convocation next week, held in Bowen Park.
我们祷告神啊，祈求神能够改造我们这一代的年轻人，
We ask the Lord to help and transform our greatest asset, the young people,
我们下一代的人啊，脚步要站得稳，
that their steps may be firm.
要在信仰上站立得稳，
They can stand firm in their faith.
这样我们教会啊，才能够继续发扬光大。
In this way, our church will grow and prosper.
年轻人就是我们的未来呀！
For the young people are the future pillars of our church.
他们人生开始有很多的阶段，其中一个很重要的阶段就是结婚。
They have many important stages, one of which is marriage.
有个好的婚姻生活，
Having a good marriage
也能够帮助在信仰上能够站立得住。
can also help them greatly to stand firm in faith.
所以呢，愿神祝福我们下一代，
We ask the Lord to bless our next generation.
我们要为他们祷告，
We need to pray for them.
一起祷告。
Let's pray.